Hello, I'm Steve Boone. I'm a professor of chemistry at Hanover College, and today we're going to be attempting to verify Avogadro's hypothesis. Equal volumes of gas at equal conditions of pressure and temperature will have the same number of gas particles in them. By gas particles, I mean molecules in the case of molecular gases like CO2 and nitrogen, and atoms when it comes to an atomic gas like helium. In order to do that, we're going to be using this as the vessel. This is a 5-liter gas flask, and it's all wrapped up with tape like that for safety purposes. In order to do this, we're going to be using this apparatus. It looks rather elaborate, but it's not actually all that complicated. This is what is known as a gas handling manifold. This device down here is a vacuum pump. This is capable of pulling all of the gas out of the entire apparatus. But mainly it's connected to this tube right here. And this tube has 2 ports on it that we'll use for filling the tube with gas and also for connecting it to this object here. This device is a mercury manometer. This is used to measure the difference in pressure between the room and the manifold itself. When the pressure inside the tube is the same as the pressure outside, then the level of mercury in this inner tube will be the same as the level of mercury in the little pool there. As this tube and the apparatus is evacuated, the level of mercury in the inner tube will rise. This vessel here is the container that we're going to put the gases into. We're going to fill this with the 3 gases that we're working with. But the first thing that we have to do is to completely evacuate the entire system, including the connection between the gas cylinder and the gas manifold. Okay, here we go. Now it's going to take a little while for this to completely evacuate. You can tell when it starts getting to the vacuum, when it starts going back to the noise that it was before. So it's still got quite a bit in there. And this, one of the things about it is this takes a long time because this is 5 liters. So that's a big volume for the vacuum pump to handle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut off the valves and I'm going to disconnect the evacuated sample bulb from the gas manifold. All right, now we're going to weigh the evacuated bulb. We start by putting the cork ring on, zero the balance, and this should be the mass of the evacuated bulb. Now we have the entire system under vacuum, and so now we're going to shut this valve, and we're going to open up the valve on the carbon dioxide tank in order to fill the manifold with carbon dioxide at atmospheric pressure. And this is going to go back down. Now as it gets low, I'm going to get down to the level of the mercury and make sure that the level on the inner tube is the same level as the level in the little pool at the bottom of the manometer. Okay. So now everything is at the same pressure, but it's filled with pure CO2, including this, which is the container that we're really interested in. Now what we're doing now is we're just sealing the sample vessel. We're shutting off the manifold, and we're also shutting off the vent on the port onto the CO2 tank. And now I'm going to remove the sample vessel from the manifold. All right. We're just going to gently pull this glass tube off of there, and we need this cork ring in order to do this. We're going to weigh the sample. The first thing we do is we put the cork ring on here, and we're going to zero the scale. And now we're going to put the sample with the CO2 on it, onto the scale. All right, so we're going to reconnect the sample bulb. And I'm going to connect the inlet port to the helium cylinder now. And now we're going to once again evacuate the entire system, and once again we're going to fill it with a different gas, this time helium. All right, so we now have the bulb filled with helium. So now we're going to shut off the two valves, and we can again disconnect it. All right, now we're going to weigh the evacuated bulb. We start by putting the cork ring on. We zero the scale, and finally we weigh the gas bulb with the helium in it. We have now connected the gas port to the nitrogen cylinder, and now we're going to re-evacuate the entire unit again. So now once again we're going to shut off the manifold from the vacuum pump, and then we're going to open the valve and fill it up with nitrogen. All right, we're going to weigh the bulb once more with nitrogen. And we zero the balance with the ring on, and then we weigh. All right, that's the last procedure we're going to do for this, and you'll be doing the calculations that are indicated in your lab manuals. I'd like to thank the instructor and students of video production here at Hanover College for shooting this video. Thank you very much.